Cancer, heart disease, dementia, diabetes are rapidly killing us. But researchers have suspected for years that all of these health issues have one common trigger: low-grade inflammation. Inflammation plays a role in everyone's health, says Dana Dorenzo, a rheumatologist. When inflammation levels increase, so does the risk of disease. But understanding inflammation can be tricky because when you get a disease, inflammation levels naturally increase as your body fights the condition. Inflammation, in other words, is both healthy and dangerous. What is inflammation? When you catch the flu and your body temperature rises to fight the virus. That's a form of inflammation. So is the redness and swelling that occur when you sprain your ankle. Inflammation is the process your body uses to provide the healing chemicals and nutrients needed to help repair damage. These are examples of acute inflammation, which is a temporary, helpful response to an injury or illness. Once the danger goes away, so does the inflammation. Chronic inflammation is a slow, creeping condition caused by a misfiring of the immune system. That keeps your body in a constant, long-term state of high alert. It's often the chronic inflammation, not the viruses themselves, that causes much of the damage. Why is there a problem with chronic inflammation? Over time, inflammation damages healthy cells, and here's why. When cells are in distress, they release chemicals that alert the immune system. White blood cells then flood the scene, where they work to eat up bacteria, viruses, damaged cells and debris from an infection or injury. If the damage is too great, they call in backup cells known as neutrophils, which are the hand grenades of the immune system. Neutrophil cells blow up everything in sight, healthy or not. Each neutrophil has a short lifespan, but in chronic inflammation, they continue to be sent in long after the real threat is gone, causing damage to the healthy tissue that remains. The inflammation can start attacking the linings of your arteries or intestines, the cells in your liver and brain, or the tissues of your muscles and joints. This inflammation causes cellular damage and can trigger diseases like diabetes, cancer, dementia, heart disease, arthritis, and depression. Because its low-grade, slow and secret nature makes it hard to diagnose. You have no idea it is even happening until those conditions show symptoms. How can something natural to our bodies be so toxic to our health? It can be complicated to figure out if inflammation is a friend or foe. The four main causes of chronic inflammation. An outside infection that's hard to kill. You contract a chronic infection like hepatitis C or Lyme disease that lingers in the body for a long time. Your body responds with inflammation that also lingers a long time. In fact, it's often the chronic inflammation, not the viruses themselves, that causes much of the long-term damage related to these diseases. Genetics. You inherit a genetic propensity toward a health issue. In some cases, the genes related to these health issues can be turned on by inflammation. Diabetes and cancer are two genetically related diseases that can be triggered by inflammation. In other cases, the gene itself causes a misfiring of the immune system. That causes the inflammation in rheumatoid arthritis, multiple sclerosis, lupus, and other diseases. Environment. Pollution, air and water quality, environmental allergies and other environmental factors can trigger and sustain inflammation. Lifestyle. Obesity, unregulated stress, tobacco use, drinking too much, lack of physical activity, lousy sleep, and poor diet is all linked to chronic inflammation. And getting older increases inflammation, too? The older we are, the more exposure we've had to stuff like environmental toxins, stress, alcohol, bad foods, and chronic diseases. Plus, aging makes it more difficult for our bodies to properly manage our immune systems, to extract nutrients from food and to shed extra pounds. So what triggers chronic inflammation? Something triggers the immune system. Whether it's a chronic disease, an autoimmune disorder, weight gain, psychological stress, poor nutrition, exposure to chemicals or allergens. Something puts your body in a state of stress and keeps it there. The immune system responds. The body goes into attack mode with an inflammatory response, which also includes blood vessel expansion to increase blood flow to the problem areas. Blood is the primary delivery system for all these substances. And responds, and responds, and responds. An endless cycle of pro-inflammatory foods, rampant stress, and bad sleep keeps this process in constant motion because we never give the body a break. Are there pro-inflammatory foods? Yes, foods high in sugar or high in unhealthy fats. Deli meats and fried foods are on the top of the list. Our gut microbiome, made up of trillions of bacteria, influences physiologic processes throughout the body. We're born with a balance between good and bad bacteria in the gut. When that balance is thrown off, known as dysbiosis, it can lead to trouble. A dysregulated microbiome has been associated with metabolic diseases, pulmonary diseases, nervous system conditions, and Alzheimer's. How do I know if I have chronic inflammation? First, it's not that you either have it or don't have it. By a certain age, we all have some degree of inflammation in our bodies. The key is to keep it at a flickering ember and not let it erupt into a forest fire. If you smoke, drink a lot, carry a lot of extra weight, especially around your belly, never exercise, eat poorly, or constantly feel agitated by stress, your chances of having some level of chronic, elevated inflammation are high. If you are healthy, exercise, and lead a balanced lifestyle, you should have less of it. Inflammation can be measured only by a blood test and interpreted by your doctor. Is there a connection between stress and inflammation? Yes, chronic stress causes an increase in hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, which directly triggers a rise in inflammation. If you have an autoimmunity-based skin condition like psoriasis, you've probably witnessed this as the result of constant stress. To fight an inflammatory condition, you must be willing to make wholesale lifestyle changes. Wholesale lifestyle changes aren't easy, but attacking one enemy is a lot easier than worrying about dozens of them. Here's an idea: if you have to pick 2 lifestyle changes to improve, focus on sleep and exercise, both the quantity and quality. These not only lower your inflammation levels, they will also help you do everything else better. When you give your body time to rest and lower stress by exercising, you have an easier time making smart food choices and thinking clearly the next day. Make sure to get your copy of my Diet Desperation ebook by clicking on the link in the comment section of this video. And subscribe to Total Transformation channel.